and/or Parsons going, how big of a concern is Parsons to split a lot of the game?
We got to quit turning the ball over. That's the first thing that we have to do. 17 turnovers for 23 points. It just sets the table for them for transition, finishes, threes, all that stuff, and it's too big a cushion to give them. And if we can preserve the ball and get a few more stops and rebounds, those guys will get better looks. So a lot of it starts with our defensive stuff. We had a lot of good shots that didn't go in. We had some other guys that had some really good looks, and just shot making is one of those things that's temperamental. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And if not, you gotta hold yourself in by dealing with the possession of the game things like turnovers and rebounds. So we'll look at the film. I'm sure there are some things we can do to help those guys and everybody else get better shots. But the turnovers and the second chance points really hurt us.
Rick, could you give us an update on Devin Harris and also the Parsons minute to get up kind of hot tonight?
Harris, the toe was bothering Harris a little bit in the first half, so we elected to hold him out the second half. Parsons had something happen in the first half. Went out, was examined at halftime, and he felt like he was okay. I think our doctor looked at him and said he was structurally fine, and he seemed to do better in the second half. Now, in terms of his minutes, at one point he was out a while and he started to stiffen up, so I had to get him back in. It's a bit of a balancing thing, So he didn't have any real long stretches, which is what we were trying to avoid. But we're watching it closely, and obviously we got to see where he is come tomorrow and Monday morning, and etc.
You guys got Howard on the bench. Harden did not totally incinerate you. You seemed like you did some things you needed to do, but it was the other guys on their team, Terry and Brewer and Tim Jones and those guys. What got away from you with those guys, or were you trying to pick your poison there?
Well, Terry hit some threes, Ariza hit two, and Brewer hit three. And Brewer hit a couple of late clock ones, during periods where we were doing some good things and beginning to make some runs. And so, the scrambles late clock are key. And we're going to have to do a better job of coming up with loose balls, coming up with boards, 50-50 balls. I don't think we won the 50-50 ball, game tonight, and that's huge in the playoffs. So it's a 10-point game, and it's a lot of little things that lead to a deficit like that.
I know you want to look at the film, but how do you think your team handled their pick and roll attack, specifically when they were going after with the pick and roll?
I think what we'll see is that we did a lot of positive things with it. Dirk had the early fouls. Had three with a couple minutes to go in the first, or a minute, or whatever it was. The second half, we did much better. We mixed in some zone, and we're going to have to give them different looks. They're a team that's so good offensively that they're going to adjust to seeing the same thing every time. So, again, I do have to look at the film to give you an accurate answer. But there's certainly things that we can do better. We'll look at those, we'll make the adjustments, and then we'll be back here on Tuesday.
Coach, I know you stress balance. When Dirk has the hot hand going like that, how much do you have to also milk him and Carlisle and finish it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the guys did a good job of looking for him. With 14 shots in 34 minutes, we probably could have gotten him a few more. But then again, I thought there were some other good looks in the game, and we're not going to win this series just pounding it into Dirk every time. I mean, that's not how we're built. So, we'll look at it. But I think we're going to see some obvious things we need to do better. I think we're going to see some positive things we need to build on, and from there we got to come back in here Tuesday and get a better start to the game. That was a real key part of the game as well. We got down double digits very early and had to dig out, and that's tough.
Anything else?
Rick, their open threes, how many of those are results of guys just getting lost defensively?
Well, at least 2 or 3 of them were late clock scrambles. And oftentimes when a guy like Harden breaks you down, you're going to get in what we call a scramble, where guys are going to have to just fly around, find open people, and we're going to have to out-scramble the other team. We got hit for 2 or 3, untimely ones. Brewer hit at least a couple. Ariza hit one when he faked, and Aminu flew by him right in front of our bench. So there's 9 points, and so doing a better job there is a big key, and it's a mindset, it's a mentality, and we'll get better on Tuesday.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.